The I-80 Harvest Tour is brought to you by the Enlist Weed Control System from Dow AgroSciences, a new herbicide-tolerant trait system that will build on glyphosate.
After 8 weeks on the road, we're at our final stop on the Interstate 80 Harvest Tour. Since mid-September, we've visited farms from Nebraska to Ohio to gauge this year's corn and soybean crops. Our last stop is in Kendallville, Indiana, where harvest is rolling along. They are few and far between, but there are indeed some rolling hills in northeast Indiana. And they offer a special challenge to RD wall heater.
As you can tell, if they're rolling, we've got a pretty, no-till works out great in this area. Erosion's a huge concern, and plus we have to deal with a lot of stones in some of the fields. It's not level like you see in Illinois or anything like that, but around here this is a little more rolling than the average.
Wall heater and his son Neil practice mostly no-till on their LaGrange County farm, a corner of Indiana where you're as likely to see the pastoral scene of a passing Amish buggy as you are to see modern machines charging through the golden harvest.
There it said 196, but it's averaging about 150.
Like the yields, the fields are highly variable. From sandy to heavy clay, RD says it's not uncommon to roll through 4 or 5 different soil types in one 30-acre plot. Soil is one thing. The planting weather was a whole other matter.
Well, it just stayed wet about all spring this year, and we finished up corn probably the first week of June, beans second week of June, I think, when we finished up.
A challenging planting season was followed by a very hot and very dry summer.
Some of the drouthy soils got hurt pretty bad, and some of them did all right. It's just variable. You know, we're going to have close to an average corn crop, though, which is kind of surprising. The bean crop is going to be pretty much average to a little above.
While RD was an early adopter of no-till of the land, son Neil is an early adopter of technology on the farm. They implemented RTK and yield mapping, but he also wants to install more drainage tile and work with landlords to install more center pivots.
We've had extremely dry spells the last 2 summers, and 3. Like there's been a large amount of irrigation pivots put up in the area, and I think that'll continue to increase if the weather pattern continues like it has.
Using technology to improve yields and keep this Indiana farm family harvesting for years to come. RD started no-till on his corn in 1981. With the numerous soil types and hills, it's really paid off. Our thanks to RD and all of the farmers for sharing their time during a busy harvest season.